So when you go to this level, you will see your personal website where you left off with your styling. You want to click on the style.css page. Now, you will see that I have already added some of my layout properties. So whenever I look at my page, whenever I expand upon it, I can see that I have not only centered my heading here, but I've also floated my image to the right and I've added a border and a border radius. So that's pretty much what I did to style my page. Now, there are a couple problems. I don't really like how this looks over here, and obviously there's a problem with the Creative Commons logo now that I've, grouped that in. Because remember, these are all images. They're all being styled the same way. But we will learn how to fix that later on in a later lesson. So let me show you my code and what I did and how I did this. So, and remember, you guys are going to choose your own styles. You need a minimum of 3 on your page. And all the layout properties were listed on your notes from the day before. They're also listed up here under the instructions. So what I did here is I added a background color. That counts as one of your layout properties. And remember, you need 3. So another thing that I did, scrolling down, these are all text properties. I applied this to my image. Now, the key when you're, styling in CSS is to make sure that you're using the correct selector. So if you're styling your image, you want to make sure that you use the IMG selector, since that's the specific HTML tag that we use in our HTML. So what I did here is I floated my image to the right. So that's something that you can do as one of your layout properties. And I also added a margin around my picture so that it created space and it wasn't, bunched up right against my text here. And it made it look a lot cleaner. I also added a border style, color, and width. This all kind of counts as one property, okay? And remember, you need 3. So the border counts as 1, and then I also added a border radius to make my border look curved. And that's pretty much what I did as far as layout properties on my page. Now, there's one thing I wanted to show you guys. Some students prefer to center their image on the page rather than floating it, and that actually looks really nice too. So I wanted to show you how to do that in the CSS because that is not explained on code.org. So what we would need to do first, if you want to center your image on the page, is obviously take out float or don't put float to begin with. And what you want to do is set your margin to be auto. So we want to set the margin to auto, and notice that hasn't done anything yet. But then what we would want to do is set display to block. And that actually centers your images on the page. So remember, that will center all your images for now, but I can show you a way to fix that later using something called CSS classes. So for now, guys, make sure you add a minimum of 3 layout properties to your personal website, and this should make it look really nice. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, well, I also want to style my hobby page. So what you'd want to do there is to make sure that your hobby page also, your hobby.html page also had that link rel equals style sheet code in the head section, just like what we did on our HTML page to link up our CSS sheet. So you can put the exact same code that you have on your HTML page over on your hobby page. I hope this video was helpful in completing code.org Lesson 11, Level 13.